guys, thanks so much for tuning in. My name is Shay of Pretty Brown Vegan. Today I will be showing you guys how to prepare vegan sloppy joes two ways. The first way we'll be using this Gardein beefless ground. This can be found at most of your local grocers such as Walmart, Kroger, Meijer, whatever's near you. And I also will be showing you guys how to prepare this using lentils. This is a completely plant-based alternative as well. The Gardein is also plant-based, but the lentil is just a different way to kind of keep your veggies and beans going. So I'll show you guys how to make these sloppy joes both ways, so just go ahead and stay tuned for that. Alright, so I have me a little pot here ready to go. Again, these are the lentils. They're great value and they were about $1 from Walmart. So super affordable alternative way to make this. The Gardein crumbles are about $3 to $4. So this is a super, inexpensive way to get this going. I'm just going to go ahead and prepare these according to package instructions. When you are doing your lentils, please be sure to go ahead and sort through them. Sort out any of the ugly, ugly ones. Rinse them off to avoid any dirt. So let's go ahead and get these started. I'm just going to put these on the pot. Alright, so while those lentils are bubbling away, I'm going to go ahead and show you guys the rest of the ingredients that you'll need to prepare this dish. I'm showing you two different ways, but the base ingredients are pretty much the same. The only difference here is our meat substitute. Again, I have our lentils simmering away. For that first alternative, lentils are super inexpensive. I think that bag was about 98 cents at the store. And then another super delicious option, but a little bit more pricey, is our Gardein option. This is the Gardein Ultimate Beefless Ground. It's so yummy. It's a really great ground beef substitute if you want that ground beef texture, but it's about $3 to $4 a bag, so you get a little more bang for your buck with the lentils, but this is also super good for a treat if you were looking for that. The rest of your ingredients here are also super affordable, just like the lentils, so let's go ahead and get into those. We'll need some tomato paste. We'll also need some good old ketchup, nothing fancy about it, just some regular ketchup you probably already have in your fridge. And then we'll also need some tomato sauce. This here is Hunt's. I prefer Hunt's tomato sauce when I'm making anything, sloppy joes, chili, anything that requires a tomato sauce. I like to use Hunt's, but you can use whatever you prefer. Tomato sauce is tomato sauce. And then you'll also need some mustard, just some good old regular mustard. Again, you probably already have some of this in your fridge now. And then we'll need some good old water, just a little bit here. I'll put some specific measurements in the description of this video. You'll also need some bell peppers. I prefer to use red and yellow. I just dice them up as finely as possible. And then also onion, you'll need to dice up the onion as finely as possible as well. I chose a white onion, but feel free to use a sweet onion or a yellow onion or whatever you prefer. And then also you'll need a couple cloves of fresh garlic, and I diced that up as finely as possible as well. And then optionally, I'm using some brown sugar here for just that little bit of sweetness, but you don't have to use brown sugar if you don't prefer. You can use agave, you can use coconut sugar, whatever you like. And then as far as like the seasonings and condiment things like that, you'll need some Worcestershire sauce, a little bit of that, and of course you can't really cook anything without some good old salt and pepper, so just some good old black pepper. And I'm using sea salt as my salt alternative, but you can also use Himalayan pink salt or whatever kind of salt that you prefer. And then for a little bit of a kick, I add in some crushed red pepper flakes and a little bit of chili powder because I like to have a little bit of a sweet, savory, spicy kick. So I put that in, but these two are completely optional. And then to saute up my peppers and onions, I will be using plant butter. I prefer to use a Country Crock plant butter, but feel free to use whatever you have on hand. You can use olive oil, you can use avocado oil, or you can even use water. So whatever you prefer to get your veggies going, we're going to start with those. But I'm going to go ahead and check on these lentils. They should be about done, and then we'll go from there. Alright, so these are the lentils. They're looking pretty good. They're still holding their shape. They're not mushy. They're still, kind of that circular shape, and that's what we're looking for. So I'm just going to go ahead and let these hang out here on the stove, and then I'm going to get another skillet going here to go ahead and saute up the ground beef, and then we'll go from there. Alright, so since our lentils are already pretty taken care of. I'm gonna go ahead and get this Gardein beefless ground going. It's already thawed out. This does come in the freezer section, but I thawed mine out overnight just to get prepared for this today. So that just kind of helps it cook through a little bit faster if it's not frozen. I hit this with just a little bit of salt and pepper and just saute it up with a little bit of avocado oil over medium heat until it's heated throughout. Once it's heated throughout, it's honestly done. It doesn't take too much to get this going. I'm gonna take this off of the heat in just a sec, set it to the side, and then get my peppers and onions going. And it's fully well heated through, so I'm just gonna go ahead and turn that off. All right, and then I have a bowl here ready to go. I'm just gonna go ahead and pop this in there. And I'll be using the same skillet to heat up my peppers, onions, and garlic. So we're gonna go ahead and get started with that. So I'm also gonna go ahead and get these lentils out of the pot as well. I have another bowl here ready for those. I'm gonna take these off of the heat and get them going in this pot. So we've got both of our meat substitutes ready to go. These are our lentils. This is what they're looking like. They've reached my desired tenderness and they've still held their shape. Again, I just prepared these according to the package instructions. I used about a cup of lentils versus 3 cups of water. Brought it up to a boil, reduced it down to a simmer, and loosely covered it until the water was pretty much gone and they were tender. And then as far as our Gardein, it looks super good. It's warm throughout, which is all it takes for this to be done. I went ahead and just sauteed this up with a little bit of avocado oil on the stove, as you guys saw. So both of these are ready to go. Now we're gonna go ahead and get started with getting our peppers, onions, and garlic all going, and then we're gonna get our sauce together. It's gonna be so good. I can taste it now. So let's go ahead and get started with that. As I informed you guys at the start of the video, I will be using a little bit of this plant butter to go ahead and saute up my garlic, peppers, and onions. I use the Country Crock plant butter. They have avocado oil one, and the olive oil one is also really great. So I put a little bit of that in the skillet, maybe like a teaspoon or so, and then I'm gonna go ahead and get started. I'm just gonna put half of each of the ingredients in here. I did double the ingredients for all of these measurements because I will be preparing both the lentil option and the ground beef option. So I'm gonna go ahead and get started with the garlic, and I'm gonna go ahead and saute that up until fragrant. And I'm gonna go ahead and bring you guys in a little bit closer so you can see the preparation on this. Alright, once your garlic is nice and fragrant, then I'm gonna go ahead and add in half of these onions. Turn that heat down a little bit. Want it to be over medium heat. Keep them moving so that they don't brown too much. Slightly brown is okay, but you don't want it to be burnt. So I'm just going to keep that moving around. Toss it nicely in the butter so everything is well coated. And now those onions are a little bit fragrant for me already as well. So I'm going to go ahead and add in half of these bell peppers. Alright, once these cook down and start to soften up, I'm going to go ahead and add our lentils back in before adding the rest of the ingredients. So I'm going to go ahead and grab our lentils. Right, and now that we got our lentils in there, I'm going to add in just a little bit of this water. Alright, and then I'm going to let that water heat up before I add in everything else. Right, I can hear that bubbling. I'm gonna add in this tomato paste. Make a little well in the center. That paste. I'm going to add in a little bit of this here sauce. Adding a little bit of the ketchup. Dab of mustard. And a little bit of this here brown sugar. And whip it up. Alright, add in a little bit of Worcestershire sauce. Alright, then I'm just going to go ahead and put this on low and put a top on it until it's ready. Garlic and onion. Bell pepper, I'm going to make a well in the center and get those ingredients in here. Ketchup, tomato sauce, tomato paste, mustard, brown sugar. Start that going. Water. More tomato sauce. Again, exact measurements will be in the video description. Turn this down. A little more water. Worcestershire, salt, pepper, crushed red pepper flakes, chili powder, Alright, and then we just want to put that on low and cover it up till it's done. Right, just let them simmer for a few minutes until they are thickened and ready. Doesn't take much time at all. All right, this is how our Gardein one is looking. Looking good. And this is how our lentils are looking, which are also looking so good. And don't worry, I'll be giving you guys a close-up here in a sec. Super fragrant. Now this one here is our Gardein crumbles. Alright, so I've got a couple of regular old buns here, and I'm just gonna go ahead and get them loaded. We're gonna go ahead and start with the lentil sloppy joe first. Go ahead and get them nice and loaded. And then we can go ahead and add our Gardein Joe. Just like mine to be nice and loaded. And that's it. Top and enjoy. Okay, and then again, this is our lentil joe. And this is our Gardein joe. All right, thank you guys so much again for tuning in today. Again, my name is Shay of Pretty Brown Vegan. You can follow me on any of my socials, on Instagram at Pretty Brown Vegan, my Facebook page, Facebook.com/Pretty Brown Vegan, as well as my food blog, prettybrownvegan.com. And for more videos like this, you can follow me as well on YouTube at youtube.com/Pretty Brown Vegan. I hope you guys enjoyed today's content and that one of these sloppy joes will make it into your home. Thanks again.